Okay, I want to give you another tip from Tiffany, guys. This is one of my favorites. Did you realize that, and this is kind of a fun seminar that I personally attended that FICO put on, each generation has a different why they might want to purchase, and maybe something that's keeping them from purchasing. I'm not going to go through all of this today, but if I were to be thinking as a realtor about my marketing plan for this coming year, we're at the end of the quarter, fourth quarter here. Well, who am I influential with, right? We're not always everybody's everybody, but I want to look at millennials, for example. I'm just going to use one as an example. Millennials might have been, many of them, in high school during the recent crash. When I say recent, the 2008-ish crash, right? What happened during that crash? If you were a teenager and your parents had a foreclosure, what did that look like for you? Perhaps your parents went through a divorce because of the stress. Perhaps you had to move out of state. Maybe you had to leave the school that you were going to and you could no longer play football at the local high school. There might be some trauma around the idea of homeownership, right? They might be scared. What if this happens to me? So foreclosure prevention conversations are incredibly important. I say this because if you even take ChatGPT and say, create a social media post that speaks to millennials. Sorry, you guys, sorry. Um, about
It,
home
and
ownership.
such a hard word to spell.
Here's what we do. Right click.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. So boom. So I didn't, you want to do a little more thought there, but cool, right? Hey, millennial dreamers, da da da. So meet them where they're at, right? So I'm trying to give you some nuggets of things that not everyone's doing, right? And it's just kind of fun to take a look and say, well, maybe I'm speaking incorrectly to millennials and not necessarily hitting them right where they're at. Use Chat GPT. There's other resources available. Obviously, I'd love to help you there as well. But there's different credit trends and different topics that will speak to different generations. And again, we don't want to generalize everyone as trauma based with millennials, but just thinking outside the box in a way that would allow you to create marketing content specific to an individual's why. Okay, we want to turn a no into a yes. So I want to talk a little bit, and by the way, real quick, here's my information. If you want to take your phone out, I was brave enough to put my cell phone on here, you guys, because I love you. But this is my cell phone. You can reach out. There's my email. There's even a QR code if you wanted to refer a client. I wanted to put that up here real quickly. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what it looks like to refer a client. And let's talk about price because I think that's the ultimate, the question that I get most common. Okay. First and foremost, this is our website, credivolve.com. Okay, as I mentioned before, we partner with nonprofit HUD counselors. So they're FICO certified credit experts, but they're also housing counselor focused. Again, that's incredibly important. If you're at an open house and somebody comes through the open house and says, I'm the nosy neighbor next door and I want to sell, but I'm afraid I can't because then I wouldn't be able to purchase because my credit, you name it, this is going to come up. You can click on the refer tab. You could have your laptop there. You could literally have your credit, your thing open and say, oh, you know what? Let me make an introduction. I'm not obligating you to anything, but a free consultation will be a really good way to at least get the conversation started with a housing expert who's a credit counselor. All you do is hit the refer tab at the top. You'll scroll down. You guys, all we need is the client's first name, last name, email, and phone number with their permission. Okay. You wouldn't want to send this link to the client. This is for you to complete. And I want to show you why here in a second. If there is a co-borrower, then and you happen to know their information, great, but it's not required. And then you would scroll down and Travis would put his information because it says your first and last name, your email, your phone number. This is why you wouldn't want to send this to a client to complete because chances are they're not going to know your email. When you submit the referral this way, all you're doing is setting the consumer up to receive a free consultation. We will keep you informed every step of the way because you will have entered your contact information. You'll get notes on every counseling session that the consumer has completed. Every month, you're going to receive a progress report from every client that's actively in the program showing you their FICO score improvement. And the best part is that we actually push the client back to you when they're mortgage ready. Because again, we have the same technology that lenders use for decisioning. So within 3 to 5 months, you're going to get an email back that says, congratulations, Tiffany Cross is mortgage ready. Reach out to her. So it's pretty cool. Plus, you get the monthly updates every month. If you send them to me directly, you will not get that information and the updates. This is what keeps you connected to your pipeline so you can nurture that consumer throughout their progress. Super important. Now, in the notes section, you can say, this is a Spanish speaking client. I need a Spanish speaking credit counselor. Or this is a teacher. Please call after 3 o'clock. Okay. Or this is a VA client, right? So we would know that this is somebody that we're going to be trying to get them qualified for a VA loan. Anything that's relevant, and then you click submit. Again, all that does is refer them for a free consultation. Now, after the free consultation, if the consumer decides they want to move forward, it's only $149 to enroll. Now, again, this is a nonprofit model. Therefore, the consumer is not paying anything above and beyond what the hard costs are to do the work. So essentially, they'd be paying the same to do the work themselves. That includes the counselor doing all the work. It includes the budgeting that they do every single month together. Yes, we work with Spanish speaking consumers. That's why I said in the notes section, you would say, this is a Spanish speaking client. I need a Spanish speaking credit counselor. And we even have flyers that are in Spanish too. So I can send that to you after. Thank you for asking. But it includes the cost of the credit reports. It includes the budgeting. It includes the credit remediation. So it's the one-time setup fee of $149, and the monthly fee begins on month 2. It's $113 a month. There's no cancellation fee. There's not ever a time where someone's locked into a contract. It's just month to month. When they reach goal, they cancel, and that's it. So I'd say the average consumer pays anywhere from $300 to $700 for the course of the entire correction. And honestly, some of our realtor partners will offer it as a closing cost credit or a closing gift, and say, listen, consumer, if you use me as your realtor, at the very end of your program, I'm willing to reimburse you up to 4 months of your credit repair. So just a suggestion there. So that's the cost, that's the time frame. This is a way for you to say, listen, I have a great resource. I want to speak real quickly and tell you that we are vetted by FICO. FICO has approved us as a vendor. We are actually partnered with the National Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie and Freddie, as well. So the two largest, Fannie and Freddie, if you are familiar with the loans, they're actually strategic partners of ours. So this is not a onesie twosie. We're a very large organization that is quickly becoming the preeminent credit solution for most mortgage companies across the nation.
Yeah, and I do like the idea of, maybe offering to rebate and things like that, especially now that, post NAR settlement, everybody's, putting together their compensation agreements and things like that. So it could be a good lead in, if you are having a little bit of a challenge or something like that on getting that signed, to offer that rebate in your buyer rep agreement. So then you're kind of locking in two things there at the same time. So yeah.
Win-win for everybody, right? The consumer wins, you win. We'll see a shift here. We are seeing a tremendous amount of people that are just really discouraged right now. And this is all about relationships and bringing that transactional mindset back to relational. And I think that this is going to be a power tool for each of you moving forward this new year.
Yep. And we've talked a lot about value and showing your value. And this is one of the things you can definitely bring to the table is this relationship with, credit repair. And even if it's just a small bump they need, maybe they're just
Did I lose
trying to
you?
oh, maybe. Am I back on now?